Hi everyone, and welcome to my day 7 project from the 2023 Simply Design Advent Calendar. Okay, let's get into this project. So we're going to do a Bah-Humbug Layout. Awesome. An awesome title. I absolutely love it. And some 6x6, beautiful bouquet, and a glassine envelope full of fun. Wow. Exquisite. Just beautiful. Aw, what a beautiful fox. I love a snow globe. These bows with baubles on the bottom are awesome. And another miniature bouquet. And it looks like we have all the letters here to go behind the Bah-Humbug title. Fantastic. This is going to look so good. And I love putting patterned paper behind die cuts cut out of white or black. It looks so good. All right. Let me get things cleared up and organized, and then we're going to jump into making this project. I will be right back. All right. I trimmed down my 12 by 12 pattern paper to 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. Now I need to create the photo mats for my photos, and I'm going to do that out of the 6x6. So I need 3 photo mats, one at 3x4 and 2 at 3x3. So I'm going to cut those out of this green rock emerald 6x6. I don't know what to call it. First off, I'm going to do 3 inches because that'll leave me the second 3 inches, which I can get 2 3x3s out of. And then I can get my 3x4 out of the second strip of 3. All right, now I just need to cut my photographs down so they'll fit on my mats. My first photo is going to be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and that's going to sit on my 3x4 mat. And then I'll need 2 that are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 to sit on my 2 3x3 mats. All right, now it's time to do distressing. I like to distress with the Distress Ink Black Soot, and I'm just going to go around all the edges of all of my pieces, but I will not make you watch it all in slow motion. Instead, I'll speed it up, and then we'll get through it much, much quicker. I kept the 1/4 inch pieces that I cut off of the patterned paper 12 by 12 when I cut it down to 11 by 3/4 square. Now these pieces, I am distressing them because I'm going to use those as the hangers for the ornament on the page. Now I'm not going to need it all, but I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to use, so I'm just going to distress the edges of it all because I hate white edges. Because I'm a 2-page scrapbooker, you're also going to see me putting distressing on a cream color 12 by 12 and a postage stamp looking patterned paper that has been cut down to 11 3/4 square. I will also be using 3 additional 3 by 4 green mats and another 6 3 by 3 green mats. And I got those additional papers from the ones that we got as extras from the Advent calendar. Now it's time to get gluing. So I'm going to glue my 11 3/4 by 11 3/4 postage stamp paper down to the cream color 12 by 12. Then I'm going to do the same with my plaid patterned paper and put it on the dark green cardstock. So unfortunately, the letters are too small to glue on the back, but they are slightly too big to put on the front. So I'm just going to have to glue this into place, then kind of set the letters on top and hope they look okay. All right, next step. So I've glued down the large ornament, kind of gauged where I wanted it compared to the title, and I've added one of the strips that I cut off of the pattern paper to make the hanger. So I'll just trim that off now. All right, now I'm going to put the snow globe here. I'll get that glued down. So this snow globe to me seems kind of strange up in the air. So I'm just going to add a string for it, just pretending that it's actually a ornament. I can just use some glitter glue to make a fake topper. We're also going to put a flower back here, a flower bouquet, and I think that's good. I'll stick the flower bouquet there, glue this down, then I can manipulate these things into the holes. Okay. But now there's another problem. This doesn't fit properly. I think that the, whatever you like to call these backgrounds, got stretched because it's really big here, but almost none there. Die cuts from cutting machines. Sometimes the files can accidentally be stretched or whatever. With the trigger and my arthritis is flaring in my hands, I'm having to do everything more left-handed. And sometimes it can get quite funny in my crafter because I am a righty. I can thank my dad for making me kind of ambidextrous, so that helps. But okay, we got her down. Okay, now I'm just going to get these letters glued into place. Okay, I'm going to solve my problem about these letters being too big to fit inside, but too small to glue on the back. I'm going to pop them up so they'll just slightly hover, and so nobody will really be the wiser, and it'll kind of look cool if there is a little green that shows underneath. All right, now it's time to get these photos put down. I'm going to pop up the 3x4. Then in the center of all of them, I want to put this fox and tree and the bow on the side there. Oh yes, and I have the bow with the bauble to hang below the HU there. So let's get this put down. So this one is going to be glued across the bottom of the B and the U, and then I'll do the foam on the bottom of that. All right, and now I'm going to put the bow on the side here. I will put no glue where it's going to attach to the picture, and regular glue where it's going to attach to the G, and then a foam at the bottom of the bow so that will sit on the base. Okay, I'm going to place the pictures now, and then I'll put the fox in the middle. So I've got to see where the fox and tree are going to sit so I can decide exactly the spacing for my photos. I'm going to let it overhang both of these pictures. So I think I'm going to leave about 1/4 to maybe 1/2 inch in between the photos, and I'll line the bottom up with the top so that their edges will sit together properly. Now, because I'm going to pop this fox up, I want to make sure that those bottom 2 photos are going to be flat onto the base so that the popping of the fox will keep the height going with that top photo. All right, now I will glue the fox and the tree together. So I'm just going to put a little white glue across the bottom of the tree because the fox's tail kind of sits across there. I'll get these 2 put together. And then I can add foam down the side of the tree and across the bottom of the fox. But the fox's head is sitting on top of the popped photo, so I don't want to put anything there. And now the last is the bauble and bow. So I just need to put white glue on the back of the bow and a foam on the bauble. All right, this page is done, all glued down, and now we're ready to move on to page 2. All right, I have all of my 0 center rulers out to give me a hand with this centering of all these photos. So the center photo is a 3x4. So vertically, I know that it is 1.5 to the center. I put my 0 center horizontal down the bottom so that I know exactly where the center of my page is. Now I can stick my ruler on here. The center of that photo has to be 6 inches from the bottom. Since I know my photo's halfway is 1.5, all I have to do is move my ruler down 1.5 inches, and I'm going to be at the bottom of my 3-inch photo, which means that I'm going to be 4.5 inches from the bottom, and I'm going to make sure that my photo with my 2 side rulers is going to be exactly 4 inches in from each side, because 4 and 4 are 8, plus 4, the width of the picture, is 12. That's going to help me get this one centered. And then after that, it's a simple matter of spacing accordingly. Now I know I've got my photo centered perfectly vertically, because if I put my ruler down, I'm exactly 4.5 inches from the top, 4.5 inches from the bottom, which is 9, plus the 3-inch width of my photo is 12. Okay, now I'm going to get the rest of my photos brought down. Now that I've got the center photo right in the center, I'm going to lay everything out kind of eyeball now. I do want to put this awesome wreath that we got in our kit on one of the days. I want to put it around that center photo like so. So I'm actually going to decide how much width I need so that I don't overrun the pictures on the outside of it. For me, it's easier to glue against a ruler coming from the top down to it rather than going from left right into it. So I'm just going to switch my layout around here so I can get everything lined up, and it'll be easier for me to glue the photos down that way. However, I am not going to make you watch my OCD to get everything perfectly squared out, so I'll be back once they're all glued down. All right, my photos are all glued down, and now I'm just going to put some foam underneath my wreath and get that put into place. And then I'll dig out some ephemera from our plethora of amounts we got in this kit, and I'll find some cool ones to put around the layout. Now this little piece of a tree I saved from doing another layout. I never throw anything away because you never know when it'll come in handy, like sticking out from behind this picture. All right, it's stickles time. You know I can't do a layout without putting stickles on. So I've got several bottles of stickles, my red Studio G from Michaels in red. I'm going to hit all the berries. I've got goldenrod, and I've got stardust, and a couple of green options. The lightest green is eucalyptus, and the darkest green is just green. So I will speed up while I run around both pages and fill them with stickles. Okay, let me get this zoomed out here for you so you can see the whole thing in all of its glory, because I think it is very beautiful. Nadine outdid herself with another of that left-hand page design. And I really like how the second page came together as well. So I hope you enjoyed this day crafting with me. This was a bit longer 2-page layout, but I think it was worth it in the end. Have a wonderfully crafty day. La, 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 la.